What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of DADLIFE. All right, guys, in this episode, it's been a while, but I've had headlights sitting around for my wife's 2011 Honda Pilot. As you see, headlights are all old, faded, yellowed. They're horrible. I've tried wet sand them a few times. Tried the headlight restoration kit. Just bought brand new headlights. So we're gonna put in new headlights. I'm gonna show you guys how to do it on a 2011 and similar model years Honda Pilot. Enjoy the video, guys. All right, guys, here we got the tools. You're gonna need a 10 millimeter socket, as well as a couple extensions, flathead screwdrivers, Phillips screwdrivers to get the screws to the bumper inside the wheel well. And of course, we have a pry tool as well as needle nose pliers to get all the clips that you're gonna need to take off these types of clips, these body plastic clips, as well as you're gonna have clips. Let's see if I can have this zoom in real quick for you guys. You're gonna have clips all up under here along this range. All right, guys, first we're gonna pop off these two plastic clips. Flathead screwdriver to pop the top up and then just pull straight up. Might have to wiggle it a little bit, or a lot of it. Or you're gonna have to grab your trusty needle noses. Hi, sweetie. There we go.
What are you looking at?
Hello. And then once you get this out, you're gonna just move this aside,
What are you looking at?
like so. That's, yeah, hold on, sweetie. You have to move this aside, so now you can take out the clips here, 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 and here. So you can remove this out as you start to take off the bumper. All right, guys, I removed all the clips in the little radiator shroud here, the plastic. So now we're gonna lift this off, like so. We're gonna put it aside. What I did is I set up a table just to make everything chest height, if you will. The other thing is, instead of having to grab bags to remember where everything goes, just keep it in order. So for instance, 2 clips here, there's about 5 or 6 here. So these are my top 2, there's 2, here's the next grouping. So you can keep everything together like so. So the next thing we're gonna do now is you're gonna start wanting to remove this 10 millimeter bolt here. This is one of the screws on the headlights. And then you have to pop out this clip here. So let's do that. Next, remove the 2 10 millimeter screws that are holding the brackets to the front grille, which also is connected to the bumper. Alright, guys, next we're going to take out the 2 screws, the Phillips screws that connect the bumper to the fender liner. So you're going to have one up in here, so one right here. And I turn the wheel, so I have the car running, turn the wheel to do that to make it easier. So you're going to pop that one off, it's just a Phillips. Then you're going to have one, let it focus for a minute, one right there. All right, guys, now that you have the 2 screws out in the fender liner, you're going to lightly grab here, and you're going to get your hands back there, your fingers, and pop the bumper off the clips. So far we're popped off there. Now we got to move underneath. All right, guys, I'm going to pan out a little bit as best I can here. But then you have a 10 millimeter screw on the bottom end of each bumper. Do not remove these in the back here. That is just the wind deflector. There's no need to take that off. That'll stay with the bumper. So again, I'm not going to be able to hold it to video, but 10 millimeter here as well as the other end. Take those out, put them aside. All right, guys, now you're going to take out all the push pins on the bottom. You have 2 here. I already started them. So you're going to take all these out. You got 2 here, and then you have them all up under there. And I already started taking them out. And again, see how the orientation is so you know when you're done. The actual bumper will go over the bottom skid plate. So you see, bumper over the skid plate. All right, guys, last screws you're gonna have 2 bolts here, 10 millimeter and 10 millimeter. I'll pan back so you can see. Connect the bracket to the car. And then the final 10 millimeter right up in there. All right, guys, so it would help if you have a second hand. So I asked my wife to come out to help hold the bumper. Basically what you have to do is you have 2 connections all the way down here on the back of the bumper, one for the fog light as well as one for the parking beeper sensor. So you're gonna see, really easy. Here's the bumper sensor. You just literally push the tab, undo the sensor, the harness I should say. Here's your fog light, same thing. Pull the tab, come down, Two hands, pull the bumper off. And then here you go, you can see the old headlight on with the bracket. And again, you're gonna have your screws to come off. You're gonna have 10 millimeter here and here. This is the passenger side, and a 10 millimeter right there. Bumper will slide off. Oh, I'm sorry, headlight will come off. Then from the back, you're gonna disconnect all of your little connectors to each bulb. Then what I did was, to make it easy, I left all the bulbs in, or I should say in the sockets, so then that way I can easily switch them over. So let's do that now. So you're gonna see our new headlights from TYC. All right, just OEM replacement, nothing crazy. It's a daily driver, didn't want anything different, just a nice replacement. Let's take a look at this. All right, just a little before and after. Cool thing, as you see, all the bulbs are already in the new headlights, which is awesome. So all we have to do is take off the stock mounting bracket to swap it over. So let's do that now. And here's the bottom of the headlight mounting bracket, one 10 millimeter screw. And then on this side, let me pan that in. You see it just sits on two pins there and there. So that's it. Just remove the one 10 millimeter bolt, and then the mounting bracket will come off. All right, guys, mounting bracket swapped over. Something very cool to see. Obviously, they're TYC lights, made in Taiwan, but this is something that I'm very kind of impressed to see. Let me see if that'll pan in for you guys. Phillips, all Phillips sockets and bulbs. So that's actually pretty dang cool. So now we got to bring the headlight over to the car. We got to reconnect all of your electrical connections to the sockets, and then start reassembly. All right, guys, a couple tips. So I was not able to film that because I was by myself and I didn't want to mess up anything. But obviously, again, once you bring the headlight over to the car, you're going to reconnect all of your electrical socket connections. Then you're going to, let me come in here, you're going to snug up this screw as well as these two bolts here. And you're going to do it, basically get them started, and then put this one in up here just for reference. And again, everything's not 100% tight yet, but now would be a good time to turn on the headlights to compare it to the other side, to make sure you put all the bulbs and plugs back in the right connection. So you see, you have your driver's light, you have your marker light. You can barely see, but marker light, driver's light. So again, so everything's working there as it should. Alrighty, guys, quick tip. So you're gonna see how I'm disconnecting all the connectors from the sockets, but you're gonna see right here, I already disconnected that part here where it goes into the clip. And then you have another one right around there. Have your needle nose pliers handy so you can disconnect the wire loom, and also keep the 3 screws that hold the headlight actually to the car itself in your pocket with your wrench and any extensions. Because when you plug the connectors back in, you have to do the headlight and you put that up. If you're doing this by yourself, you have no one to help you, so keep it all in your pocket so you can start lightly threading everything in, as so. All right, guys, and we're back here again. We're gonna now remove the 10 millimeter bolt that holds the stock headlight bracket, and we're gonna swap this bracket onto the new headlight on this side. All right, guys, both headlights are in. I still have the cellophane clear plastic wrap on it so I don't scrape it up. Tighten up your 2 10 millimeter screws up top here. Again, don't go crazy, don't over tighten. This is only plastic tabs, it's not metal. So again, as long as they're snug, they're good. The main part that's holding the headlight is the bracket to the car, as well as your little clips on the edges here. So now we're gonna bring the bumper over here. We're gonna reconnect the bumper sensor as well as the fog light connections, and we're gonna get this bumper mounted back up. So we're gonna try to do this one with just myself. Alrighty, the bumper's all snugged up. We tested the fog lights on both sides. Fog lights are working, all the lights are working. Now we're gonna put our radiator shroud here. So let's grab this, put the radiator shroud back on. Again, it just rests on, it can only go on one way. So let's drop that down into place. Remember, you put the radiator shroud on first. That way, this part here that leads to the air intake, the stock air box, sits on top of the shroud. So now you're just gonna pop all your black push pins in. Again, we come back over to our table. We have the 5 or 6 of them. Let's not drop them as I do this. We're gonna put them right here. And all these are gonna just pop in like so. shroud is secure. Finish it off with your last two. Again, we come back to the table over here. And we got that one, like so. And the final one, like so. That's not going anywhere. All right, guys, so we got everything buttoned up here. Headlights are all screwed on, everything's working. Last thing to do is we're gonna grab our 4 screws and our big Phillips screwdriver. We're gonna come back over here to the side of the car, and we still have our wheels turned. We're gonna grab the longer of the screws. We're gonna put that right up here in that hole right there. But before you start screwing it in, just make sure this lip of the bumper is flush with the fender. So we're gonna do that now. And then we're gonna turn the wheel one more time. I already did the passenger side. We're gonna put the smaller Phillips head into the second lower screw in the fender. And you're gonna see it pulls the fender liner close and tight to the bumper. It's never easy doing it one-handed. There we go. We'll zoom out. So again, let it focus real quick, guys. There you go. Fender liner behind the bumper. Just like so. And then right here, let that zoom out real quick. Nice and flush. Front bumper needs a repaint, but that was already as is. So we're gonna come up top here, give one nice little push in there. And tear off the cellophane. Project complete. Got it. All right, guys, one thing left to do. Stand back, admire your work. You just saved yourself probably $100 by taking it to your local mechanic. Maybe a little more. All in time, I would say, with setting up the table, setting up the parts, and videoing, about 2 hours. You know, maybe a 5 or 10 minute break here or there, but just put yourself about 2 hours, which means you probably just saved yourself, again, $100 to $150 for an hour plus labor at your local mechanic, guys. As always, guys, you see the Corvette in the background here. Subscribe, YouTube, DADLIFE, guys. Follow me on Instagram. I have 2 Instagram profiles. Boosted Furies, just all the personal stuff for DADLIFE, as well as Corvette contact cars. And then for work, if you want to see, I'm a car salesman, so you want to see all the cool stuff that we sell and get in on trades, Dante Does Cars. Links will be in the description, guys. Again, this is how to replace your stock headlights, or of course aftermarket headlights, on your 2011 Honda Pilot. Again, it's going to be other years, 2010, 11, 12. And what I'll do is I'm just going to put a link in the description of all the years for this generation Pilot. Super easy, super do it yourself. And thank you guys as always for watching. Until the next video, this is DADLIFE. Thanks, guys.